Welcome to the League of Draven. Oh, Draven. Probably my second or third favorite ADC. Just such a beast, such a beast. Let's jump right into what he does here. His passive, League of Draven. Draven gains his fans' adoration when he catches a spinning axe or kills a minion, monster, or tower. Killing enemy champions grants Draven bonus gold based on how much adoration he has. Alright, so a quick breakdown of this is every time you catch a spinning axe, you'll see above your items there a counting amount. It basically just counts up every time you catch an axe or kill a minion, tower, monster, etc. So uh, what that does is you actually get when you kill an enemy champion, not an assist, mind you, it has to be a kill. When you land a kill on the enemy champion, you get 2 gold per stack. So that is huge, but you also get an extra 50 gold. So if you are able to grab, um, basically, if you can get 100 stacks and then you kill an enemy champion, you're going to get 250 gold on top of the already 300 gold you're going to get. Which, man, if you can get enough stacks built up before you land kills, you just become a monster way too quickly for anybody else to catch up. So this is by far probably my favorite ability. I'm fully aware of his old passive, which made him even more of a beast, and this is somewhat of a nerf. But dude, this ability is just so much fun. So we're gonna jump over here to Spinning Axe. This is Draven's kind of bread and butter. This is how you get your stacks. This is his Q ability. Draven's next attack will deal bonus physical damage. This axe will ricochet off the target high up into the air. If Draven catches it, he automatically radiates another spinning axe. Draven can have 2 spinning axes at once. So basically, with this ability, you want to use your Q to start throwing your axes, and then you'll see a little circle that's where your axe is going to land. You want to try to get there. You can actually control where this goes by after you throw the axe, moving in a certain direction, and the axe will actually go in a certain direction. So as you'll see in some of these videos here, that when I throw the axe, I walk backwards in order to not get hooked or whatever from the thresh. So and it does a good amount of damage as well. But you really, whenever you're farming, you really only want to have one of these spinning axes going, because having two, it gets a little crazy and a little out of control as far as farming, plus you push the wave too far. The circle that you catch your axe on is also visible by the enemies, so it makes it easy for you to be susceptible to their poke or their dives onto you. So let's be careful with that. Okay, so his W is Blood Rush. Draven gains increased movement speed and attack speed. The movement speed bonus decreases rapidly over its duration, but catching a spinning axe will refresh the cooldown on Blood Rush. So this is normally what I get second, and I max this one as second as well. It's a movement speed, but really what I use it for is attack speed, because the amount of damage that Draven throws out there, he does sacrifice quite a bit of attack speed. So I do use this one and max this one second. I use this in a combo. You'll see me throw an axe, then I'll Blood Rush. Once you catch an axe, it actually refreshes. So ideally, if you have enough mana, which, obviously later on in the game you will, you can literally just hit this Blood Rush for the attack speed, and it's off cooldown again as long as you catch an axe. And then we're going to move to the E, which is Stand Aside. Draven throws his axes, dealing physical damage to targets hit and knocking them aside. Targets hit are slowed. Now, the damage aspect of this ability isn't immense. It's not a huge amount, but what you do use it for is use it as a form of CC. I like to take Draven against Katarina's because when Katarina ults, you can stand aside and knock her out of the ult. It knocks them off to the side, but it also stuns them for a short amount of time. So it's great for CC added. If you have, like in this video, you see I have a Morgana support. So right after the snare, it's really nice to use to keep them CC'd and locked down for you to actually grab a kill. Works really well with Leona ults as well, or Leona's actual kit, because of all of her stuns and snares. You can throw these in there to also add to the CC. And then we're going to move on to Draven's ultimate, Whirling Death. Draven hurls 2 massive axes to deal physical damage to each unit struck, while Death slowly reverses direction, or Whirling Death, slowly reverses direction and returns to Draven after striking a champion. Draven may also activate this ability while the axes are in flight to cause it to return early. Deals less damage for each unit hit and resets when the axes reverse direction. So there's a lot in this explanation, so I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible. His ult is go the length of the map, as long as it doesn't hit anybody. Hitting minions or neutral monsters, no big deal. It doesn't actually stop it. and it won't stop unless you actually hit an enemy champion. So let's say that you throw an ult out, but the enemy moves. This ability, I like it better than the Jinx ults, and I like it better than Ezreal ults because even if you miss the champion, you can position yourself further ahead and align, so that whenever you push R again to make them come back, it will actually come back and hit them. So if you do hit a good amount of people or even one person, the damage is reduced through as many people as it goes through, but as it returns back to you, it actually resets the damage amount, so it will not do even less as it comes back. It resets that damage amount, so it does about the same amount as whenever it headed towards you. As a lot of you are probably in the same boat I am, I don't have 20 pages of runes, so I use pretty much the same 3 standard ones. I know it's not exactly ideal and that there are better ways to do this, but I personally don't have the time to farm out all that more rune pages, nor do I have the extra money to spend on there, and I'm assuming a lot of you are in the same boat I am. So with these runes here for Draven, I use the same ones I use for Jinx. I use 3 greater quintessences of attack speed. I use 9 greater glyphs of magic resist, 9 greater seals of armor, and 8 greater marks of attack damage with this one attack speed, because again, I am super OCD and I like to have this attack speed right 15%. I'm assuming a lot of you probably run more damage runes for Draven because of just the outrageous amount that he can put out. But like I said, I only have 3 pages, so this is what I use. Jumping over here to masteries, I still use the same ADC. Get over here to my ADC. I was jungling earlier. Yeah, I still use the same ADC masteries as Jinx, 4 in Fury, 1 in Exposed Weakness, 3 in Brute Force, 1 in Martial Masteries, 1 in Executioner, 1 in Dangerous Game, 3 in Warlord, 3 in Devastating Strikes, 1 in Frenzy, 1 in Havoc, 2 in the Defensive Tree Block, 2 in Enchanted Armor, 1 in Unyielding, 3 in Veteran Scars, and 1 in Juggernaut. Again, please, if you have advice or tips, or you see that certain ones of these masteries are better for Draven, please leave it in the comments and let me know, and I will definitely try it out and give you credit if it's much better. As always, jumping right into game, I do want to admit here that I am actually duo queuing with a buddy here. He is my support. He normally mid lanes, and he would happen to be online, but he actually was last pick, so he had to support me, which is probably the reason why we dominated so hard. We play together on our ranked 5s team and stuff, so we're pretty used to each other's play style. So this is a little bit unfair. I'm not using voice chat or anything. We are still typing because I wanted to make it as close to a solo queue as I could. So we're gonna just, as you can see, the little red circle where I'm catching my axes. We get a little poke in on Thresh. Morgana's snaring, and I'm able to poke with my Qs because I have a little bit of range. And as you can see, the damage from Draven is real. It is an insane amount of damage. We are going up against a Sivir Thresh bot lane. Draven actually counters Sivir pretty well. So now we're going to slow this down just a bit. Now that I'm rank 3, I let Morgana know that I'm good to engage whenever she wants to. If she can just land a snare, we can go in. I have stand aside, so it's a good combo with her snares. If she doesn't land one, I'm just going to continually CS, but this Thresh gets a little bit too close, and she's able to land it. When Thresh gets snared here, you'll see that I throw my stand aside a little bit in front of him, and that's in order to knock him back, so that he has to, waste the flash, and then I get a little bit out of position, but Morgana flashes in. I didn't want to use my flash, so Morgana gets the kill, and it's okay because I didn't really have a ton of stacks of adoration anyway, so it's not like I was angry or upset with the fact that she took that kill. So I'm fully aware also that I am missing quite a bit of CS here. It's because I was typing, and I'm not really concerned about it right off the bat here. So we're just going to CS here, no big deal. We go up to Dragon and ward it. I follow her just in case we get a fight there whenever she puts a ward down. All this really happens here is just some farming of the minion waves. I do have close to enough for pickaxe, or I mean not pickaxe, BF sword, but as you remember from my Jinx video, I'm not the person who rushes that. I do pick up pickaxe, boots, some health pots, a vision ward, and some mana pots, only because sometimes when you're playing Draven and you miss your Qs, or you're getting into a lot of fights, you will go quickly. So we're gonna buy, and then when we head back to turret, we notice that the lane is pushed in a little bit, so I use my E to stand the side here. Hutch, my support, also wants me to point out that when I put my vision ward, I do miss my trinket ward into the dragon pit, and he definitely laughed at me for that. What I truly like about this bronze and this low elo is that you get, when you get a little bit higher and you come back to these kind of games, you realize how some of the mistakes that the enemy makes, and you just punish them for them. Here, Thresh and Sivir, I think they thought they were going to get a kill here. They had the minion wave push, and I was definitely taking damage. And so I kind of guess I understand why they came in, but we're really close, and there's just the Sivir tries to trade with me, and that you can't trade with a Draven, especially a Sivir. And you'll see why. My Q damage is just stupid. It's just a dumb amount of damage. Here she even gets me low, but a couple Qs and a stand aside here, and you'll see that she is almost dead. And then it just takes my ult. There's a stand aside. There's a Q. There's another Q, and then this ult. It's done. She did get close to killing me, so I mean, I guess I should give her some credit. But that definitely, punish your enemies for making these kind of mistakes, because they're going to do the same thing to you. So when you see the mistake happen, try to punish and try not to get too ham. Try not to almost kill yourself like I did there, unless you just know that there's no way you're going to die. The next thing I want to talk about is positioning. As an ADC, it doesn't matter how much damage you do or how many items you have if you're dead, obviously. So where you want to be in any of these fights is in the back line. I do see a lot of people who in this low elo, whenever they get excited about getting a kill, they don't pay attention to where they're positioning or where they're standing whenever they're getting a kill. So they may go ham and almost get a kill on an ADC, but instead of them actually securing the kill, they die because they're surrounded, or they get focused by everybody because they're standing in the front line. As an ADC, you need to remember that you are not the tank. You are not the front line. It is your job to be the back line. It is your job to just annihilate everybody on their team. With that being said, as far as Draven is concerned, it is much better for you to, in a team fight, to stay in the back line. What makes this easy is that Draven does just an incredible amount of damage. So when you're in a team fight, let's say it's a 5v5 fight, and obviously their front line is up there, their tanks are up front, it is your job as Draven to just catch axes and focus the tanks. I know that sounds weird. Oh, who's focusing the tanks as an ADC? But Draven's damage is so immense and so powerful that you don't want to be in that front line. And so with the amount of damage coming from your Qs and your stand asides and your attack speed from your W, you can literally just crush any tank. And that's where you need to be as far as Draven. You need to be in the back line crushing the tanks. Catching these axes is something that you obviously have to do with Draven, but what's really cool is whenever you come and take a turret, you want to put up double axes. And the reason for that is you don't actually have to catch them when you're attacking a turret. So you have double axes and you use your W for attack speed, and you just continually refresh your axes because you're not having to actually catch them. So that's always a cool thing with Draven. You're able to push turrets fairly quickly. Not a lot going on here, so I'm just going to quickly fast forward so we get to the next part that I want to point out. There are two fights here that I want to point out and kind of show a little bit about my positioning, since I was already talking about this, and where I stand whenever we get into a team fight. So I missed my stand aside on this Thresh, but if you look at where I'm at, I'm backing up. I'm backing up because I do not want to be in that front line, and I do dodge a hook there from Thresh. So we come in here and we get onto this turret, and since my positioning is here, I'm able to ult and break LeBlanc, and then I get some damage in on Thresh. I'm able to throw another Q, then auto attack and kill him. But as you can see, I'm still way behind my front line. So then Diana comes in and I'm able to pull off a double Q, and I'm still back far enough to be able to get back away from the turret damage. This is going to lead into the second fight that happens very quickly right after this other fight. Just speed it up to catch up to this part here. This is the second fight that happens pretty close to the end of the first one that we go through. I'm just trying to get a little bit of damage here on Nasus. Our Sejuani comes in, and immediately I get queued by Nasus because I was too far in. So I back up and try to get behind the lines again, and this actually saves my life. I believe, yeah, Bran gets LeBlanc here, and then we all kind of back off because Diana comes in. So we're able to avoid dying, and we still pulled off a kill. It's all about that positioning. You always want to be in that back line. And that's it for me again, guys. Thanks for watching this Draven video. I hope some of the tips and tricks that you've watched in here benefit you and help you out as you push your way through these bronze ranks of the quote-unquote elo hell. As always, please feel free to comment any champions or positions you'd like to see. Let me know if you see anything that I can improve on, and I will definitely take it into consideration and try it out and give you the credit in video if it does actually benefit me. Please like, subscribe, share, help me out by getting other people to watch these videos so I know that I'm actually using my time wisely. And I guess I'll check you guys out next time.